So, Rock, moving on to our next song, we have Wake Up by Arcade Fire. And this is the song that you chose. It represents your hope for the future post-pandemic. So my question for you, Rock, is what changes in society did you see come on by the pandemic? Maybe like people spending more time with their families, doing more things that they care about. What changes were brought into society from this pandemic that you hope continue to the future of our society?
Yeah, I think definitely a lot of introspection happened with everyone, and you were kind of forced to, at least my experience was, the times that we would hang out, friends that, you kind of choose like the people you want to be around consistently and that you trust, and, you're not going out and socializing constantly. So I think that's carried through, and it's kind of like reinforced those friendships and like your family, friends and family, that reinforcement has definitely carried through. To be honest with you, I don't really think there's going to be a huge lasting effect because human nature is human nature. So like anyone that thought that like this would like wipe out the selfishness, and it's only gotten worse, and unfortunately that's the way it works. But for me, it was extremely. After the initial shock, it was extremely rewarding to just like stop and decompress. And I mean, I watched Netflix for 10 months because I didn't have anything else to do, and I fucking loved it. Like.
Well, you moved back in with your mother, correct?
That's right. Yeah. And at first I was like, oh my god, like how could I possibly do that? But like, she was like, well, what are you gonna do? Pay rent in New York and not have a fucking job.
Yeah.
And it was actually, it was one of the best. She's 78, and it's such a gift to like spend this time with her over the last couple of years. And you don't often get that chance, and it's wonderful. And my dad passed away like 8 years ago, and she was alone. And after like the first week, I was like, whoa, actually, this is fantastic. Like, I love this. And she was like super happy, and it was very rewarding overall. Like past the initial shock of that, and I think everyone has like a little experience like that. Like a little story of like how the pandemic wasn't actually all that bad.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, my father passed away in February, and if it wasn't for the pandemic, I wouldn't have been able to go to South Carolina and be with him for a month. Yeah. I was talking to a friend of mine who was a tour manager, and his mom died when he was on tour, and she had been sick, and it was a thing where he's working, and you're in that mindset, you're in that grind.
Yeah.
So he came home after she passed, but I knew, I was like, all right, well, we get to spend so much time with my wife, Maribeth. This is really cool. We're building gardens, we're doing stuff, but to get to be there and just. That was like the gift from the pandemic, because otherwise it just would not have happened.
Absolutely, brother. Yeah, that's it.